Now at 6, debate concerning the minimum wage in both Missouri and Kansas. Plus, Joplin SWAT arrests a man wanted for attempted murder. And Children's Miracle Network names a pair of local brothers their 2025 champions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Debates are underway concerning the minimum wage on both sides of the Missouri-Kansas state line. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The Missouri Supreme Court heard arguments this week for a legal challenge that would overturn a recently passed proposition. In November, Missouri voters passed Proposition A, which raised Missouri minimum wage to $13.75 in January and guaranteed sick leave for hundreds of thousands of workers. Several business groups, including the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry, filed a legal challenge. Their primary argument is sick leave and minimum wage are separate issues that violate the single subject rule for amendments and propositions. Those against this legal challenge say Prop A was supported by voters at the ballot box.
We always say let business decide. Workplace policy decisions are really left between an employer and an employee and should not be mandated by the government.
The free market does not mean free of rules. It is we all decide what the rules are and then we compete freely within that market. And so if the minimum wage goes up, those are the rules.
The Missouri Supreme Court is expected to release a ruling within the next month. In the meantime, state lawmakers introduced a bill that would overturn the sick leave provisions and modify the minimum wage provisions. As the fate of Missouri's minimum wage is left to the state Supreme Court, Kansas lawmakers are working to raise theirs. Currently, minimum wage in Kansas is $7.25 an hour. State House legislators introduced a bill proposing to raise minimum wage to $15. A similar bill in the Senate would raise minimum wage to $15 with further increases each year based off the cost of living. Both bills were referred to committee. A brief standoff in Joplin today ends with the arrest of a Kansas man wanted for attempted murder. Responding to a call about a fugitive, Joplin SWAT got to the Home 2 Suites Hotel on Rangeline shortly after 11 this morning. Officers determined the suspect, Joshua Ferguson of Cherokee County, Kansas, was inside one of the rooms. After police first couldn't convince him to come out on his own, Joplin SWAT took him into custody. Ferguson is now in the Jasper County Jail awaiting extradition to Cherokee County. Ferguson has been on the run since 2023 for allegedly trying to kill a family member by shooting at them several times. The victim was unharmed. Ferguson was arrested in Webb City in 2023, made bond, but violated conditions leading to a warrant, and he'd been on the run until today. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be another beautiful day for us today. All week long, we've had temperatures anywhere from about 75 to about 82 degrees, and again into lower 80s for us today. Still sitting upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So we're going to have a fantastic evening. Slide back through the 70s, 60s. We'll only bottom out near 60 later on tonight, but the winds will start to increase tonight. High wind warnings and watches, fire watches, all in effect for Friday. This is due to very strong southwesterly winds, and the atmosphere is going to get very dry during the afternoon as this storm system heads toward us. So winds increase all night long, gusts 30 to 40 by morning. By noon, they crank up 40 to 50. Once we get into the afternoon, 45 to 55, maybe even pushing 60. So we're going to be talking more about this and even a few thunderstorms here in just a bit.
See you soon. There's a new Freeman Children's Miracle Network champion, 2 of them actually. The 2025 champions are 2 brothers with Down syndrome. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on their family and their journey.
Everything takes longer and is a little bit harder, but you celebrate it and it's much more sweeter.
Bryce Werdeman's 6th child, his son, named Rusk, was born in 2020, and at birth, he was diagnosed with Down syndrome.
After he was born, It was a big adjustment.
Rusk struggled with vision issues and other obstacles.
So Rusk had congenital cataracts when he was born. We did not know that until he was about 2 months old.
About 2 years later, Bryce and his wife Amanda flew to Serbia to adopt Sutter, who's 7 days younger than Rusk and also has Down syndrome.
The Lord really kind of opened our eyes and opened our hearts to the opportunities to be able to love children, and that every kid needs an advocate, right? And so it began us on a journey.
Their journey led them to Children's Miracle Network.
Pretty quick into it, we just started realizing there were so many needs that the boys had.
CMN helped the Wardemans get the resources both boys needed.
They've really helped out a lot with, especially has been providing them with and the assistance financially to be able to get safe beds for our boys.
The Family Relations Coordinator for Children's Miracle Network says there's a variety of medical expenses they help with.
We help with travel, so we can pay for their gas to appointments in Kansas City, appointments in Oklahoma, St. Louis. We did send these boys to Michigan, so that was very rewarding to be able to send them there.
And now, Rusk and Sutter are this year's Freeman Children's Miracle Network champions.
It means a great deal to us. We're very, very excited.
As champions, the brothers will serve as the face of children treated at the hospital and raise awareness about the ongoing need for donations to support the Children's Hospital. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, to receive assistance, families can reach out to the Family Relations Coordinator at Children's Miracle Network. Receiving help is need-based, not income-based. 3 high school basketball teams from Southeast Kansas look to go deeper into state tournament play. John Dales has a preview of their chances coming up later in sports, but up first.
Independence High School holds a special event for senior citizens. I'm Lonnie Walton in Independence. I'll have that story coming up.
Independence Kansas High School teamed up with Special Olympics Kansas to host the school's first Special Olympics for senior citizens. KOAM's Lonnie Walton stopped by to see what the excitement was all about.
This was the most active.
Wanda Clifford is a senior citizen participating in the Independence High School's first ever Special Olympics. She says she's enjoying the change.
I think it really would be good for everybody. It helps seniors, that's for sure, be more active.
Seniors aren't the only ones being active during this event, according to Regional Director of Special Olympics Kansas, Olivia Ryan. She says so are high school students who get to exercise their social skills with these various activities.
We have everything from wheelchair races to, we have a tattoo parlor. That's been like popping. We have cornhole, we have bingo.
And according to Ryan, all activities have a low impact, but with a big emotional impact on these seniors. Independence Functional Life Coach Jessica Childish says seniors are having a blast.
I love making people happy and I love bringing joy to them, and hey, that tattoo parlor has been like a hit.
And the citizen says it's not only a way to get a lot of exercise, but they also had a lot of fun.
It was nice to get out and do something activity-wise.
It was fun. Everything.
Wanted to be invited to dance, and this is one of those activities where they get the opportunity to be right there in it, doing all of the activities, making the relationships themselves, just like my friend Lynn here, that's making all sorts of friends today, right?
And for all their hard work, they got the chance to win medals and take pictures with local first responders. Reporting at Independence, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Ryan says one of the biggest challenges was making sure all activities were suitable to each participant's needs. However, she said the students did very well in navigating the event. A little bit later, a library in Southeast Kansas takes a trip back in time.
Plus, we have extremely windy conditions, even some thunderstorms. We're going to break it down for you coming up.
Need a new CPA? Buy the Center for the Arts.
Well, of course, a beautiful Thursday for us today. All week long, we've had fantastic temperatures, quite a bit of sunshine, couple windy days, and we're going to get another one, super windy day as we go into your Friday. Great shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, looking northeast right through downtown. Temperature is still pretty good if you want to get outside this evening. Looks fantastic. Even after 6 p.m., we're still holding upper 70s to near 80 degrees. We'll slide back 70s, 60s, and only bottom out right around 60, which is right about our average high for this time of the year. All right, so Thursdays, our new drought tracker comes out, and it looks a little bit better this week. We still have a moderate drought parts of southwest Missouri, but pretty much everybody else is dry. Here's the reason I bring this up, because we have high wind warnings and watches in effect for us as we go through tomorrow. The winds are going to be so strong and our humidity is going to plummet by the afternoon hour. So by morning, we're going to have gusts 30 upwards to 40, which is really moving. By noon, these go 40 to 50. During the afternoon, 45 upwards to 55. There could be a 60 or so out there. Now remember, almost 60-mile-per-hour winds, that is severe thunderstorm category for at least straight line winds. So we're going to get some very strong winds, very similar to what we had early last week. The winds slowly come down by Saturday. It's still breezy. We're going to have westerly winds gusting at about 15 to 20. So this is pretty much a trash can gone forever type situation, or at least several houses down. So any patio furniture you definitely want to secure as we get into tomorrow morning. Here's the other problem. So humidity's up during the morning, then here comes a dry line. It's going to fire off a few thunderstorms, but once it passes through, look at our humidity. It drops 15 to 20%. So big fire danger, and especially with those winds, if any fires would pop up, it would spread super, super fast. All right, some clouds increasing back to our south and to our west. Those are going to push through. Here's that next storm system, which is going to move in. It will contain severe weather, but mainly east of us, eastern Missouri through parts of Illinois. But we are going to have a low threat for some severe storms, really from Nevada, Lamar down toward Monette, mainly east of the metro area as we get into the afternoon hours. Let me walk you through time. A few clouds shooting through next few hours, but clear skies in the morning. Near 60 once we get to noon, mid to upper 70s already. Here comes that dry line. A few thunderstorms try to fire up along the state line of Kansas and also Missouri, and then blossom in southwestern Missouri. So we could have 1 or 2 low-grade severe thunderstorms at about 2, 3, 4 p.m. and then they race east, mainly out of the region. So any thunderstorm threat we have isn't going to last very long across the region. All right, wanted to jump to this real quick. If you are awake tonight, you can check out a total lunar eclipse where the moon turns red. Starts at about 1:30, ends at about 2:30 in the morning. It will be windy though. 77 tomorrow, cooling down for the weekend. 60 Saturday, 59 on Sunday. 70s return once again by Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Shadow of the Earth passing over the moon. It happens once in a while, but it is just
it's pretty cool to see, not at 1:30 in the morning.
Well, you know, some people will be up anyway. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Galena, Colgan, and Labette County play in high school basketball state quarterfinals. And Pittsburgh State women's basketball previews its big weekend. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next in sports.
This is the one.
Not found anywhere else. Only at the Fireplace Shop, 7th Street, Joplin.
It's day 2 of high school basketball state tournament play in Kansas, and 3 more of our local teams are in action this afternoon into early this evening. Let's begin with Galena boys basketball. The Bulldogs win their quarterfinal matchup 55-48 over Bishop Ward. They remain undefeated, improve their record to 23-0 on the season, and this victory sends them to the Final Four. That semifinal matchup will be played tomorrow at 4 against Heston, who beat Burlington today. Meanwhile, Labette County girls basketball loses a tight one, 56-51 in the quarterfinals of the 4A state tournament over in Salina. Lady Grizzlies finished the season with a record of 18-5. And then in Manhattan, Colgan girls basketball is the number 2 seed in the Class 2A state tournament. Lady Panthers are set to face Valley Heights. That one's just about to get underway. Colgan finished 3rd in last year's 2A state tournament and actually beat Valley Heights in that 3rd place game. Pitt State women's basketball is coming off the high of winning the MIAA tournament last weekend, but now the Gorillas shift their focus to the NCAA tournament, where they host a regional beginning tomorrow evening.
Like, all right, it's back to work. What we've done is fun and it's been great, but it's literally like turn the page and we have to get to the next opponent, which is Harding, who we've faced last year, lost, and so it's interesting how some of the things have repeated themselves.
That was a lot of fun last week, but we're kind of just trying to put it aside because we got a whole new challenge in front of us, and just kind of trying to keep our heads on our shoulders. But we're super excited to keep that momentum going, and getting to host and be in the jungle for another week's makes it even more exciting.
Pitt State's first game is against 8 seed Harding. That's tomorrow at 5. And as you heard Amanda David mention, that's who knocked the Gorillas out of the NCAA tournament last year, actually in overtime. So PSU with a great opportunity to exact its revenge tomorrow night. Well, Pittsburgh State volleyball has a new head coach just over 48 hours after Jen Gomez announces her resignation from that position. Megan Bessaker is the new leader of the Gorilla volleyball program. She's been the head coach at Barton Community College for the past 2 seasons, where she's helped lead the Cougars to back-to-back Kansas Jayhawk Conference championships. Now, Bessaker has coaching experience beyond those 2 years at Barton. Prior to that, she spent 1 season as an assistant at both Florida Southwestern and Emporia State, and also was the head coach for a couple years at Liberal High School in Kansas. And over in Missouri, one of our local high school football players puts pen to paper this afternoon to play in college. And today, Neosho High School senior Nathan Rogers signs his letter of intent to continue his academic and football careers at Missouri Valley College, located in Marshall, Missouri, about 3.5 hours away. The future Viking is excited to represent Neosho at the next level.
Yeah, it's great being close because that means family, friends, they can all come up and watch games. They can all stay close. I can come home whenever I need to, but it's just far enough away that it's a different feeling, I'm real excited to see what the next level is going to look like. It's going to be different not having everything laid out for you, but I'm excited.
That's it for sports. We're back right after this.
We are proud to salute Harry Owen, a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. As we enter a fire weather watch tomorrow, precautions you can take to protect your family and home. Plus, we look at a new Kansas bill designed to keep adult sex offenders off school property. And the Carthage Chamber hosts a mayor and city candidate forum. Those stories, a lot more, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. McCune Osage Township Library is bringing history to life with a collection of old newspaper articles, some dating back to 1888. From gripping murder cases to an old method for curing rabies, these documents offer a unique look into the past. Library staff have been working to organize these files for patrons to read, providing really a fascinating glimpse into local and national history. The collection showcases how reporting and public records have evolved over more than a century.
You probably wrote about 3/4 of those,
didn't
you?
Yeah, 1888. I was just a young cub at the time.
I thought so.
Yeah. I was going to start with weather, but I don't think I will. I think we're going to go to sports first.
The Kansas
you'll
City,
have time, perhaps. Okay. We'll see.
The Chiefs do have a new member in their quarterback room. Gardner Minshew is coming to Kansas City to be Patrick Mahomes' backup next year.
Yeah, could be a good backup.
That's a good backup, yeah.
I guess we have enough time for final weather news.
All right, super windy tomorrow, plus the humidity is going to plummet during the afternoon, so big-time fire danger, and winds are going to be gusting 50 to 55. Also some thunderstorms mid-afternoon. Some of those could be on the strong side.
I know you'll keep us informed as necessary. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.